Hans Christian Ørsted was a Danish physics professor, and he was doing some experiments with electrical equipment. And while doing his experiments, he observed that when he passed electric current through the wire, the magnetic needle that was placed near the wire got deflected. So this led him to the conclusion that there is some relationship between electric current and magnetism. So it was Hans Christian Ørsted who established the relationship between electricity and magnetism. So Ørsted played a very important role in the understanding of electromagnetism. Let us try to understand his experiment. Now both these diagrams have the same components, that is conducting wires. All straight lines indicate conducting wires. Then you have a battery, plug key, and a magnetic needle that has been suspended near the conducting wire. When the plug key is on, we know that circuit is completed and current starts flowing. Now, the difference between both the diagrams is that the conventional flow of current is opposite. Here in this diagram, you observe that the current is in the anti-clockwise direction. Whereas in this diagram, you find that the flow of conventional current is in the clockwise direction. We say that the polarity of the cell has been changed. So here the polarity has changed. Now what Ørsted did was that he completed the circuit by putting the plug key, and we know that the current would start flowing and a magnetic field would be developed around the conducting wire. He observed that when he passed the electric current, the freely suspended magnetic needle got deflected. So you can see the deflection of the magnetic needle which has taken place. This was the original position, north-south direction. But now, on passing electric current, the magnetic needle got displaced and it moved in a certain direction. Next, what he did was that he changed the polarity of the cell so that the direction of current was reversed. Now, when the direction of the current was reversed, he found that the magnetic needle got deflected again, but in the opposite direction. This was the original direction when there was no flow of electric current, north-south. But when the current started flowing, it got deflected, but in the opposite direction to which it had deflected previously. So, since there was no other magnet in vicinity to deflect the magnetic needle, he concluded that definitely there is magnetism which is developing in the conducting wire. So he came to the conclusion that a current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field around it. So when you are passing electric current through a conducting wire, it develops a magnetic field around it, thereby inducing magnetism in the wire. And due to the induced magnetism, the magnetic needle got deflected. But magnetism was induced in the wire so long as current was passed. When you stop passing the current, the needle again comes back to the original position. When you interchange the terminals of the cell and reverse the direction of the current, in that case also the magnetic needle gets deflected but in the opposite direction. This indicates that the direction of the magnetic field changes with the direction of the current. So here the direction of the current was in anti-clockwise direction. So the needle got deflected in a particular direction. But when the direction of the current changed, it resulted in the direct change in the direction of the magnetic needle, and so it got deflected in the opposite direction. So this was Ørsted's experiment. Let us try to understand the conclusions of Ørsted's experiment. The first conclusion: current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field around it. So this is what he observed, that so long as he passed current through the conducting wires, there was a magnetic field that was developed around them. Due to the development of this magnetic field, magnetism was induced in the wire, and due to this induced magnetism, the deflection in the magnetic needle was observed. Second conclusion: direction of magnetic field depends on direction of current. So this also we observed, that is, the direction of the magnetic field changes if the direction of the current is reversed. And this is evident from the deflection of the magnetic needle. When the direction of the current was in the anti-clockwise direction, the needle got deflected in a particular direction. But when the polarity of the cell was interchanged, or the terminals were interchanged, the polarity was changed, the direction of the current was reversed, and so was the change in the direction of the magnetic field, and hence the needle got deflected in the opposite direction to the previous case. So the direction of the magnetic field depends upon the direction of the current. Magnitude of magnetic field is directly proportional to current passing through it. Now we must remember that magnetic field is a vector quantity and it has got both magnitude and direction. So we have already talked about the direction of the magnetic field that depends on the direction of current. Now we have magnitude of the magnetic field. That is, by magnitude we mean strength. Magnitude or strength of the magnetic field is directly proportional to the current passing through it. Right now we have two cells and we observe the deflection in the magnetic needle. If we increase the number of cells, we will increase the magnitude or the strength of the magnetic field. The greater the number of cells, the greater is the current, and so stronger will be the magnetic field and greater will be the deflection in the needle. If you reduce the number of cells, you observe that the deflection in the needle also decreases, because if we decrease the number of cells, the current becomes weak and the magnetic field also becomes weak, and as a result, the deflection of the magnetic needle will be very less. So we conclude that the magnitude or strength of the magnetic field is directly proportional to the current passing through it. More the current that we pass, stronger will be the magnetic field. And the fourth observation: magnitude of magnetic field decreases as the distance from the wire increases. Right now, we have kept the magnetic needle very close to the conducting wire. But gradually, if we start taking the magnetic needle away from the conducting wire, we observe that the deflection goes on decreasing. In this case, we will keep the number of cells constant. We will not change the number of cells. Keeping the number of cells constant, see what is the deflection in the needle when the needle is very close to the wire. then gradually go on taking the needle away from the conducting wire. As you take the magnetic needle away from the conducting wire, you find that the deflection decreases because there is a certain range of the magnetic field. Beyond a certain range, the magnetic field is not effective. So as the distance from the conducting wire will go on increasing, we will find that the deflection goes on decreasing. So the magnitude or the strength of the magnetic field decreases as the distance from the wire increases. So these were the four main conclusions of Ørsted's experiment. Read the textbook and try to understand what Ørsted experiment was, how he tried to establish the relationship between electricity and magnetism. So we will stop here and we will continue in the next class. Thank you.